On a birthday meant for joy, a single gift cracked open the gates of an ancient curse. Welcome to Birthday Curse, a modern African horror tale where a Mercedes-Benz becomes the chariot of the dead, and one family is hunted by river spirits older than time. Hello, my dear friends, and welcome once again to Tales by Larinzy. This is the home of inspiring life stories, stories that teach, warn, heal, and guide us in the journey of life. If you are new here, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Your support means the world to me and helps us reach even more people who need these lessons of life. The apartment on the 7th floor of Sunshine Towers was alive with celebration. Balloons, gold and silver, kissed the ceiling. The scent of vanilla cake mingled with jollof rice and fried chicken. Afrobeats pulsed from the speakers as Adaizi's 3 children gathered around the dining table, their phones out, ready to capture the moment. "Make a wish, Mummy," 23-year-old Nkechi called out, holding up her phone to record. Adaiz closed her eyes before the glowing candles, 45 of them, crowded onto a 2-tier cake. She was beautiful in her amber-colored Ankara dress, her head wrap tied high and proud, a single mother who had clawed her way up from nothing, working double shifts as a nurse to put her children through university. Tonight, surrounded by her babies, Nkechi, 19-year-old Chidi, and 16-year-old Amara, she felt blessed. She opened her eyes and smiled. "I wish for—" "Don't say it out loud or it won't come true," Amara squealed. Adaizi laughed and blew. The flames died. The children cheered. That's when the doorbell rang. "Are we expecting anyone else?" Chidi asked, already moving toward the door. "No, everyone's here," Nkechi said, but some ancient instinct, made her stomach tighten. Chidi opened the door, and there stood Uncle Chike. He filled the doorway like a shadow given flesh, tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in an expensive black agbada with gold embroidery that seemed to shimmer under the corridor lights. His cologne arrived before he did, thick and cloying. His smile was wide, too wide, showing too many teeth. "Uncle Chike," Amara rushed to hug him. But Nkechi stayed frozen by the table. She hadn't seen her uncle in 3 years. "My beloved sister," Chike boomed, spreading his arms. "Did you think I would forget your special day?" Adaizi's face lit up. "Chike, you didn't have to. Come. Your gift is downstairs. Everyone, come." The children exchanged excited glances. Uncle Chike's gifts were legendary. He was the wealthy one, the successful one, the one who had made it in the city through his import-export business. At least, that's what he told people. They all hurried downstairs. Adaiz, the children, even some neighbors who'd heard the commotion. The evening air was warm and thick with the smell of suya from the street vendor across the road. Lagos traffic hummed in the distance, and there, parked in front of the building, gleaming under the street lights like a predator's eye, was a brand-new Mercedes-Benz. Candy apple red, the kind of car that turned heads, the kind of car that cost more than Adaiz made in 3 years. "Chike," Adaizi's hand flew to her mouth. "You didn't. Happy birthday, sister." He dangled the keys. "You've worked hard all your life. Now you ride in style." The crowd erupted. Neighbors whistled. Strangers stopped to stare. Chidi live-streamed it on Instagram. Amara was already posing beside the car for selfies. But Nkechi watched her uncle. Watched how his smile never reached his eyes, watched how his gaze kept flickering to her mother with something that looked almost like hunger. Go on, sister, Chike said, gesturing grandly toward the car. Sit inside, feel the leather, start the engine. This is your chariot now. Adais laughed, tears streaming down her face. Chike, this is too much. Nothing is too much for you, sister. Now go. Sit in it. Experience it. Adais practically floated to the car. She opened the driver's side door. The interior lights came on, bathing her face in a soft glow. The interior smelled of new car and something else. That smell. But in the excitement, she pushed the thought away. Mummy, start it up, Chidi called out. Let her sit first. Let her enjoy it, a neighbor shouted. Adaizi slid into the driver's seat, running her hands over the leather steering wheel, the dashboard, the gear shift. Everything was pristine, perfect, expensive. How does it feel? Uncle Chike called out, that wide smile still plastered on his face. Like a dream, Adais called back, laughing. She turned the key in the ignition. The engine purred to life. Smooth, powerful, perfect. The crowd cheered. Phones recorded. This was the moment. The poor nurse who had struggled for years, finally getting her blessing, her reward. Adais sat there for a few minutes, just taking it in, adjusting the mirrors, touching everything with wonder. Then she turned off the engine, stepped out, and locked the car. She was beaming. Radiant, happy. Thank you, Chike, she said, hugging her brother tightly. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say. Say you'll enjoy it, Chike replied, patting her back. Say you'll drive it everywhere. Say you'll think of me every time you sit in it. I will. I promise. Uncle Chike stayed for another hour, eating cake, laughing with the family, playing the generous big brother. To everyone watching, it was a beautiful moment. Family, love, celebration. Only Nkechi felt the cold sensation in her gut. Only Nkechi noticed how her uncle never quite looked directly at her mother, but always slightly past her, as if seeing something else. Something beyond. When he left, he kissed Adeze on the forehead. Happy birthday, sister. May this year bring you everything you deserve. The way he said deserve made Nkechi's skin crawl. The party wound down around 10 p.m. The neighbors left. The music stopped. The children helped clean up while Adaizi sat on the couch, still giddy, still in disbelief about the car. I can't believe I have a Benz, she kept saying. Me? A Daisy? A Mercedes-Benz? You deserve it, Mum, Chidi said, kissing her cheek. You've worked so hard. We should take it for a proper drive tomorrow, Amara suggested. Go somewhere nice. Victoria Island, maybe. Yes. Adaizi's eyes lit up. Yes, let's do that. All of us. They finished cleaning and everyone started heading to bed. It was nearly 11 p.m. Good night, babies, Adaizi said, hugging each of them. Thank you for making this the best birthday I've ever had. We love you, Mummy, Nkechi said, holding on a moment longer than usual. She couldn't shake the unease, but she didn't know how to voice it without sounding paranoid. Adais went to her bedroom. Nkechi heard the door close, heard the sound of her mother getting ready for bed, the running water, the movement, then silence. Nkechi lay in her own bed, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep. Something felt wrong. The air felt heavy, oppressive, like before a storm. At 11:47 p.m., she heard it. A thud. Then another. Thud, 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 like something or someone hitting the wall. Mummy, Nkechi called out. No answer. Thud, thud, thud. Nkechi jumped out of bed and ran down the hallway. Mummy! She burst through her mother's bedroom door and froze. Unease was standing in the middle of the room, but she wasn't really standing. She was convulsing, her body jerking violently, slamming against the walls, the furniture, as if something inside her was trying to get out. Her eyes were open, but they weren't her eyes. The whites had turned the color of dirty water. Her pupils were dilated so wide they looked like black holes. "Mummy!" Nkechi screamed. Unease's head snapped toward her, too fast, too sharp, like a bird of prey. Her mouth opened. What came out was not her voice. It was multiple voices layered on top of each other, men, women, children, all speaking in unison. The covenant is sealed, in blood. The sacrifice begins. "Chidi! Amara!" Nkechi shrieked. "Help!" Her siblings came running, stumbling into the room in their pajamas. Amara screamed at the sight. Chidi stood frozen in shock. Unease's body continued to convulse. She slammed against the wall so hard the family photos fell and shattered. Her head twisted at an unnatural angle. Foam bubbled at the corners of her mouth. "We need to call an ambulance," Chidi yelled, fumbling for his phone. But before he could dial, Unease's body went rigid. She stopped moving, stood perfectly still in the center of the room. Then slowly, mechanically, she turned to face them. "Mummy," Amara whispered, tears streaming down her face. Unease's mouth opened again. This time the voice was different, deeper, older, like something dredged up from the bottom of a river. "She is ours now. The river claims its own. The debt must be paid." "What debt?" Nkechi stepped forward, even though every instinct screamed at her to run. "What are you talking about?" Unease's head tilted. "Ask the one who gave the gift. Ask the brother who feeds the water. Ask the priest of Ndiezimiri." "Uncle Chike." "What did he do?" Nkechi demanded. "What did he do to her?" "The car was the door, and she opened it. She sat in the vessel. She turned the key. The ritual is complete. Now she drowns, slowly, from the inside." "No." Nkechi grabbed her mother's shoulders. "Mummy, fight it. Whatever this is, fight it." For just a moment, one brief, terrible moment, Unease's real voice broke through, small and terrified. "Nkechi, I'm drowning. I can't breathe. There's water, so much water, in my lungs, in my head. Help me, please." Then the other voices came roaring back. "It is too late. The sacrifice has begun. In 3 days she will be dragged to the deep, and her corpse will feed the covenant." Unease's body seized again, violent, horrible. Blood trickled from her nose. Her eyes rolled back. "Call the ambulance, now!" Nkechi screamed at Chidi. But even as he dialed, Nkechi knew. Doctors couldn't fix this. Hospitals couldn't heal this. This was something else, something ancient, something evil. Unease's convulsions slowed. Her body slumped. She collapsed onto the bed, breathing in ragged, wet gasps, as if her lungs really were full of water. Her eyes cleared slightly, still that murky color, but more aware. She looked at her children with an expression of pure terror and agony. "Nkechi," she rasped, "come. Closer." Nkechi knelt beside the bed, taking her mother's cold, clammy hand. "Listen to me." Each word seemed to cause her pain. "Your uncle, Chike, he belongs to a cult. Ndiezimiri, the Water Kings." "What did he do to you?" "The car was a ritual object when I sat in it. When I turned the key, I opened the door. Let them in. I'm the sacrifice." Tears ran down Unease's temples. He used me, his own sister, to renew his covenant with the river spirits. "We'll stop him," Nkechi said arsily. "We'll break the curse. You can't." Adai's coughed, and water, actual water, came up, dribbling from her mouth. I'm already dying. I can feel them, inside me, pulling me down, to the deep. I have maybe hours, maybe a day. Mummy, no. Listen. Adai's gripped Nkechi's hand with surprising strength. When I die, he will come for my body. He needs my corpse to complete the sacrifice, to take it to the river, to feed the spirits. Your corpse? If he completes the ritual, the covenant is renewed. And in 7 years, he will need another sacrifice, another family member. Adai's eyes bored into Nkechi's. Do you understand? One of you will be next. You, Chidi, Amara. One of you. Horror washed over Nkechi like ice water. So you must promise me. Adai's voice was fading. Don't let him. Take my body. Hide it. Protect it. Don't let him complete the sacrifice. I promise, Mummy, I promise. And Nkechi. Adai's grip tightened one last time. To fight him, you'll need power. You can't fight the occult alone. You'll need to find others, stronger, who can help you. The ambulance sirens wailed in the distance, but Nkechi knew. By the time they arrived, by the time they tried their medicines and their machines, it would be too late. Her mother was already drowning, and the battle for her corpse and her family's survival had only just begun. The ambulance arrived at 12:23 a.m. The paramedics rushed Adai's to Lagos University Teaching Hospital, but they were baffled from the start. Her vitals were all wrong. Her oxygen saturation was dangerously low, as if she'd been underwater for hours. Yet her lungs sounded clear on the stethoscope. Her body temperature was dropping, her skin taking on a grayish tinge. What happened to her? The lead paramedic asked as they loaded her into the ambulance. She just collapsed, Chidi said, because how could he explain the truth? How could he say his mother was possessed by river spirits? At the hospital, the doctors ran every test they could think of. CT scans, blood work, X-rays. Everything came back. Normal? Medically, there was nothing wrong with Adai's, but she was clearly dying. She lay in the hospital bed, conscious but distant, her eyes that terrible murky color. Her breathing was labored, wet like someone breathing through a straw underwater. Every few minutes she would cough up water, clear cold water that smelled of rivers and rot, even though she hadn't drunk anything. This is medically impossible, the doctor said, staring at the puddles of water on the floor. Where is this water coming from? Nkechi sat beside her mother's bed, holding her hand, watching her slowly drown on dry land. Chidi and Amara had gone to get coffee, unable to watch anymore. At 3:17 a.m., when Nkechi was alone with her mother, Adai's eyes suddenly focused, cleared, became her own again just for a moment. Nkechi. Her voice was barely a whisper. I'm here, Mummy. I'm right here. I don't have much time. They're pulling me deeper. I can feel it, like hooks in my chest, dragging me down. Fight it, Mummy. Please. I can't. Tears ran down Adai's face. But you can. You can still stop this. You must remember what I told you. Don't let Uncle Chike take your body. I remember. And more. Adai's coughed, more water streaming from her mouth. There's a woman, Mama Ogologo, in Mushin. She knows about these things. She can help you. She's fought the Water Kings before. Mama Ogologo, Nkechi repeated, committing it to memory. Find her. Join her circle if you must. To fight darkness, sometimes you must. Another cough. More water. Must become darkness yourself, but a different kind, the kind that protects. I will, Mummy. I promise. Adai's hand suddenly gripped Nkechi's with desperate strength. He will come. Chike will come. As soon as I die, he will try to take me. Don't let him. Hide my body. Keep it from him for 3 days. If he can't complete the ritual in 3 days, the covenant breaks. Do you understand? 3 days. 3 days, Nkechi repeated. I understand. You're strong, Nkechi, stronger than you know. You have your father's courage and my stubbornness. A ghost of a smile crossed Adaise's lips. Use it. Protect your brother and sister, and whatever happens, don't let the river have me. Her eyes started to cloud again, the murky color returning. Mummy, Nkechi squeezed her hand. Mummy, stay with me. But Adaise was slipping away, her consciousness drowning in the water, filling her from within. Her breathing became more labored, more wet. The monitors started to beep faster, then slower, then irregular. Nurse, Nkechi screamed. Somebody help. Medical staff came running. They tried everything. Oxygen, medications, chest compressions when her heart started to fail. But you can't save someone from drowning when the water is inside them, summoned by dark magic, pulled from the realm of spirits. At 4:42 a.m., Adaise took her last breath. It sounded like someone exhaling underwater. Her body went still. The monitors flatlined. The doctor called the time of death. And in that moment, as the medical staff stepped back, as Nkechi sobbed over her mother's body, something happened. Water began to seep from Adaise's body, from her mouth, her nose, her ears, even her eyes. It pooled on the hospital bed, dripped onto the floor, gallons of it, impossible amounts. The nurses screamed. The doctor stumbled back, and in the puddles on the floor, in the fluorescent lights of the hospital room, Nkechi saw them. Faces, pale, drowned faces with empty eyes, dozens of them, staring up at her, watching. Waiting. Then her phone buzzed, a text message from Uncle Chike, sent at exactly 4:42 a.m., the moment of her mother's death. My condolences. I will be there within the hour to collect my sister and make proper arrangements. Stay where you are. Nkechi looked at her mother's body, at the corpse the cult needed to complete their evil ritual. She looked at Chidi and Amara, who had just rushed back into the room, their faces devastated, and she made a decision. Listen to me, she said, her voice cold and hard. We're not waiting for Uncle Chike. We're taking Mummy and we're leaving, right now. What? Nkechi, we can't just... Chidi, do you trust me? He stared at her, then slowly nodded. Then help me get her out of here, before he arrives, before they take her. They? Who's they? Nkechi looked at the water still pooling on the floor, at the faces that only she could see reflected there. Everyone who wants her dead for good. They stole their own mother's body. It sounds insane when said out loud, but that's exactly what they did. While the hospital staff was confused and trying to process what had happened, while nurses were cleaning up the impossible water and doctors were arguing about the medical impossibility of it all, Nkechi made a phone call to her friend Chiamaka. I need your help, right now, no questions. 20 minutes later, Chiamaka arrived with her uncle's van. He ran a small private mortuary in Ikeja. They wrapped Adaise's body in hospital sheets, placed her on a gurney, and simply wheeled her out through a service exit. If anyone saw, they probably thought it was a normal transfer to a mortuary. They weren't entirely wrong. By 6 a.m., Adaise's body was in cold storage at the private mortuary, locked behind 2 doors. Nkechi kept one key. Chiamaka's uncle kept the other. You didn't tell me what this is about, he said, studying Nkechi carefully. Family trouble, Nkechi replied. Bad family trouble. Can you keep her here, hidden, for 3 days? 3 days exactly. He nodded slowly. I'll need cash, and you didn't get this from me. Deal. Thank you, my dear friends, for staying with me through this chilling first chapter of Birthday Curse. What you've just heard is only the beginning. A mother gone too soon, a family on the run, a body that must be hidden for 3 nights, and a powerful cult desperate to complete an ancient ritual. Will Nkechi be able to protect her mother's body? Will Uncle Chike find them? And who exactly is Mama Ogologo, the woman said to have battled the Water Kings before? All these answers and even darker revelations await you in Part 2. If you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Tales by Larinzy. Your support helps this community grow and keeps these African horror tales alive. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode, because what's coming next is deeper, darker, and far more dangerous than anything you've seen so far. Part 2 drops soon, trust me. Until then, stay safe, stay curious, and keep your lights on because danger looms in the dark.